Hey everyone. So about a year ago, I moved here to Hong Kong, and I did kind of a silly mukbang video. It's kind of like YouTube's shittiest mukbang of all time because I didn't even like eat all the food or even eat during the majority of it. So this is another mukbang. I decided 1 year later I'm going to do one more mukbang, even though that's literally 0% what my channel's about. But my channel is kind of semi about just being on YouTube and the YouTube culture. For me, the part of YouTube culture that was the most interesting, that really drew me to it, was the culture of people just fucking making these bedroom style videos where they just talk about what they think is interesting. And, if you think the person says interesting things, then there you go. So, this video is going to have a lot of different things happening in it. The first thing I want to mention right up front is that part of the reason I'm making this video is because today, and of course, if you've been following the news regarding Hong Kong, you know that there's a lot of kind of crazy shit happening here right now. So, obviously, I have my experiences of what's been going on here, and I'm in kind of a strange position because I've been very outspoken as, not supporting things like communism or big government or leftism in general, right? So, from an outside perspective, it would seem very obvious that I would be one of these protesters who are opposing the Chinese government's moves toward Hong Kong. And generally on my channel, I've avoided talking about anything that's very specifically related to living here. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The first is, of course, there's obviously some direct threat if you weigh in on things like that, and I do want to stay safe. Part of my reason for leaving America and coming here was a little bit to have a less political lifestyle. If you're somebody in America who supports small government and libertarianism, you're actually kind of at risk. Even just if you openly identify as supporting Trump or wearing a fucking MAGA hat, then that is something that people see as legitimate grounds for physically attacking you. And they'll do this, regardless of if you're gay or if you're a minority or whatever. Not that that should even be relevant, but the point is the ideology is what's really at the heart of everything. So I figured here, I lived in China in the past, and I experienced a lifestyle that was a little bit more. But I guess things were kind of more politically removed, and I did experience that here as well. Now, with these protesters, they're explicitly pro-democracy, and I am actually against democracy. Now, the protesters, they tend to kind of have a very big tent, or I suppose I should say big umbrella approach to things. And with that approach, the idea that they come to me and say, hey, join us and help us out and do our thing with us, right? Like, come. Like, it doesn't matter, right? The fact that my major point of contention is you fuckers want universal suffrage, and I fled that. I fled universal suffrage. I left America because of the horrors of democracy. Democracy is cancer. Democracy is something that absolutely no human beings should ever be subjected to. This is like a very alien and very weird perspective to have living here, and it's not something that I really often discuss with people because they have other shit to worry about, obviously. It's a very American thing to be an anarcho-capitalist libertarian. So I'm kind of sitting here in this perspective of like, in theory, I should support the protesters, but also in theory, I should not support them. And regardless of what happens, I'm kind of just reaping the benefits of a situation. So, I don't know. That's just something that I really have kind of, I guess, conflicted attitudes towards. But to be extremely clear, when I say I'm an anarcho-capitalist, even though I don't support government on a very theoretical and ideological level, that does not mean that I endorse every single act of protest, every single act of sedition, or every single act of anti-government activism. It does not even mean that I specifically condemn any particular government. It just means that, in general, I want to see a humanity where we've outgrown government. And the question of how we go about achieving that, it's a separate question, and it's one that particularly I'm agnostic towards. I don't know. I don't know. It's not my expertise. I don't know how to move about society in such a way that we achieve that. And I don't know how long it will take or by what means it will happen. And this is why I describe myself as very kind of gray pilled. You know, there's this black pill accelerationist perspective, which is to indulge in all of the trappings of the state to such an extreme degree that you force its collapse and then utilize that power vacuum in order to regain control. And then there's the more white-pilled perspective, which is that you gradually reduce government to such a point where people begin to understand and you begin to build a cultural muscle towards solving problems peacefully and voluntarily, such that you're able to question the more fundamental things about government, such as providing roads, healthcare, dispute resolution. You know, because nobody is really a communist in regard to technological innovation. Everybody kind of understands that the free market does that the best. In my opinion, the idea that the free market won't do other things, regardless of what you think that is better, is a retardation, and it's an opinion that's not really held in good faith, and that there's some sort of psychological or emotional reason why a person has clung to this conception that the state must be necessary. And this is part of the reason I describe statism as a religion. It is a belief system based upon a faith-based axiom, and that faith-based axiom is that a terrorist monopoly on the exclusive right to initiate violent force against others is somehow necessary for some sort of thing. Now, technically, it is necessary for some things. It's necessary for the sorts of extortion and violence and terrorism that all governments throughout the world are allowed to perpetrate under the guise of providing governance. But in the sense that it's necessary for society to continue, for humanity to exist, for people to live peaceful lives with others, that is the aspect of it that is, I think, worth challenging. And again, the means by which we address that or fix it or whatever, that's all up in the air. And that's why I'm kind of conflicted where, like a decade ago, I'd have been saying, don't ever vote. Voting is fucking cancer. Never vote. Never do anything that could be perceived as supporting a democratic system because democracy is fucking awful. And then, in 2016, I voted for Trump. Right? And of course, this is similar to the same grounds that everyone criticizes Stefan Molyneux for. They say Stefan Molyneux's not a real anarcho-capitalist because he was all pro-Trump. And, there's this uniquely interesting element toward Trump, which was that he was a non-politician, somebody who was at least kind of removed from this culture in a lot of ways. And to have him come in there and really shake things up was in some ways worth it, and even worth it beyond arguments just based on pure mathematics that your vote is never rational. So I guess I kind of have a foot in each door because genuinely I really don't know, and I'm open to having my opinion changed. So a lot of that ambiguity carries over into this question of whether or not it's my role or my duty to step in on these protests. And in a lot of ways, I see it as not really my business or not really my role. I'm here, I have my job, I do what I can do, and I just try to be a productive and useful member to this society as I can be. And obviously there's a moral argument to be made that maybe I could do something more, one way or the other. But, it's a difficult question. It's a very difficult question, so I'm in an ambivalent kind of state. But, so recently, and by recently I mean literally like less than a few hours ago, there were protests organized right in the area that I live in. Normally, these protests happened closer towards Central, closer towards kind of the metropolitan capital of Hong Kong. I live in the New Territories, so where I live generally is, even though it's actually quite highly populated, I think it's actually the most populated area. Um, it's not the focus. It's generally not the focus of all these things, but today it was. And today, I guess it reached such a point that the police felt it necessary to tear gas the street that I live on. So I was walking and I was within about a block away when I started to notice it. And at first I thought it was like a fire. I thought maybe, oh, is something on fire? Is there like a... did someone just light a fire? Or is it an actual fucking building on fire, right? I couldn't tell. And then the closer I got, the more I had this sensation of kind of this stinging in my eyes and at my nose. And it's like wasabi. That's how I'm describing it, because that's the closest experience I have, is that if you eat a bunch of fucking wasabi, that's what it's like. But it's like somebody had wasabi in like a spray canister and just sprayed like a generalized wasabi in the air. And of course, I don't really know when the actual canisters were dropped or exactly where they were dropped. I just know that I was about a block away from the area near like the trains, near where conceivably like it would have been reasonable to. And I didn't see any like white gas in the air. You know, you look in the movies and you see, oh, they drop the canister, all this like thick white gas comes out and people kind of cough or whatever. So I was a full block away, and it could have been like over an hour after they had dropped it, and I saw no signs of the gas, and still you can sense it and feel it, and it affects you, and everybody is like tearing up at the eyes, covering their mouth, right? It's not so discomforting that it dissuaded me from starting to move toward my home, because I figured I'm trying to get home. Whatever the fuck is happening, I just want to get home, and that's it, right? So I'm about a block away from my home, actually, and I had specifically walked away from the trains, specifically away from the area where I figured most of the action was happening, and a couple of people had stopped me, and they said, hey, don't go that way, that's where they dropped the canisters. Because they saw me and they saw a white person and they figured, oh, like you're probably just like some random fucking idiot just like walking around. They're like, go away, like get out of here, like you're gonna get in trouble. Like I've been told that I guess the police are just arresting people if they're foreign, because they figure that the foreigners are part of this resistance or whatever. Which, like, it'd be kind of amusing if they were to stop me, because I'm not sure if they'd know what to do with me. I don't know. I honestly have no idea what they'd make of somebody who's like libertarian, anarcho-capitalist, and like very explicitly and verbally anti-democracy. I don't know what they'd do. I don't know. I don't know if they would just look for whatever they can find. It's like, oh, you don't like communists, therefore you're a protester. Or if like the fact that I'm anti-democracy would make them scratch their heads or whatever. I don't know. I honestly don't know how they deal with me. Obviously I should assume that I should just stay the fuck away and just like not cause any issues. So, you know, call it cowardice, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know. You know, it's a weird situation. I didn't move here expecting things to kind of blow up in this way. And I don't think people even a year ago would have expected things to be the way that they are. So anyway, I explained to them, I live here, like literally, see that corner there? That's literally where I live. And they were like, oh, well, you should probably cover your mouth. If you have like a flu mask or something, cover your mouth and just like get inside as quickly as you can and you'll probably be fine, but like move quickly. So I was like, okay, I just hold my breath, whatever the fuck, right? So I walked over there, walked through there, and got home, and it was all fine or whatever. And then I was really hungry because I have this Baijiu and I drank it all and I got drunk and I have the drunk munchies, and I have food here. Like I have like canned soup, I have canned fish, I have stuff like for if there's a typhoon and it's like an emergency and I'm stuck here for a day or two, or I mean I I could probably live off of this the shit in my cupboards for like a month, in like a real emergency. And I'm sitting here like I really want McDonald's, right? This just retarded drunk logic. And I know it's like poor judgment, right? Like I shouldn't go outside again. I forgot to mention this. I was wearing black and yellow, and those are like the protesters' colors. Even though those are my colors because I'm ANCAP. The ANCAPs had those colors for way the fuck longer than you did, and I'm really fucking sick and tired of all of these liberals fucking appropriating my culture. Okay, I know that my religion is cultural appropriation, but seriously. Those are our colors. You stole the word liberal from us. You stole the word libertarian from us. You stole fucking black and yellow from us. Those are like my favorite colors, and you stole them. And why? Why are you always fucking taking our shit? Why can't the libertarians fucking have anything? You have to steal everything. And then, of course, once you have your goddamn retarded fucking government with your fucking suffrage, all your women are gonna vote to increase taxation to pay for their fucking free tampons and shit. So you're just gonna steal every fucking opportunity you get. And this is why, like, I don't really have that much sympathy. And I get that that's, like, very, very first world and very, like, entitled to just be like, my point of departure is the fact that you like suffrage. But I came here because I was fleeing suffrage. I was fleeing democracy. I don't want that. But anyway, I did decide to go back out there, and the tear gas seems to have totally dissipated. I was told that when it rains, apparently it's going to reemerge. So, I don't know, that'll be interesting. Fuck it. But I got my McDonald's. I got my McDonald's. So now it's time for a fucking mukbang. And I get that this is, like, really insensitive and kind of autistic to be like, my street got tear gassed, and I made it inside, but I drank, and I was really hungry, and I had drunk munchies, and I really wanted McDonald's, so I went outside, risking getting arrested just for being white, so that I could fucking get my McDonald's. But honestly, when I went outside again, everything seemed totally fucking normal. And that was really reassuring, and I don't know if that really helps, like, the protesters or the commies, right? Because it's like, the fact that things just kind of regain this normalcy. I've talked to people who are more sympathetic to the protesters who say, like, oh, well, that's the Hong Kong way. It's just keep on keeping on and be strong even though we're also protesting. And I'm like, well, I guess I kind of get it, but it's also kind of like the point of a protest is to be disruptive so that you get your fucking demands met, right? And I don't know. I'm not that kind of an activist. My activism was getting a couple of red pill screenings to happen in Minneapolis. And beyond that, I'm just kind of an advocate. I'm somebody who just encourages people to think freely and to say what they want to say. And I believe in the non-aggression principle. I believe that people should not initiate violent force against others. And then, of course, that those are my ethics. My morality is that the truth is preferable to lies, and that non-violence is preferable to violence. That pleasure is preferable to pain. That beauty is preferable to ugliness. And of course, a lot of these things are very subjectively defined, but that's how I feel about it. And I really think that when I bring things down to a certain level, like, people generally kind of agree with me. But anyway, the point is I decided to go out and get McDonald's, and I got my fucking McDonald's, and I decided, let's just come full circle. I'll talk about the shit that's fucking been happening here. The other thing was, like, a room reveal. Nothing's changed. I'm not allowed to put shit on my walls, so everything's the fucking same. I'm just gonna can turn this around. Woo, that's a blank wall. You can go way the fuck over here, and, like, everything is the fucking same. I got some new fucking kitchen gear, which is cool, or whatever. I got some IKEA shit. That thing in the corner is, like, I can put stuff under it, and then I put the trash can underneath here, and I have some folders with stuff in it that I don't keep up on, and, like, this has just, like, random shit in the Tupperware thing. It seems like I'm totally retarded, but it's because my camera's, like, reversed, so I have to think of which way to move my hand. I got 2 mugs. That's all I need. It's just 2. Both of them are for me. But in theory, if I have a friend, then I have 2. In theory. So that's how I roll. Also, this balloon in the background, it's not just a random fucking balloon. McDonald's had balloons. They had these balloons here. The balloons, I guess, were there for children, but I was there and drunk, and I was like, I want one. I want one of these fucking balloons. So I took it. So that I have this balloon. And I think there's an important symbology. The word is symbolism, I know, but it's symbology. And it's that you have this whole thing of like, what do you live for? What do you die for, right? And all the things you would fucking die for are super fucking serious. But what are the things you live for? You live for some of the most frivolous and stupid little things, you know? And that's why we say it's the little things that matter. So I live for this goddamn fucking balloon. If this balloon pops during this video, I'll kill myself. I'll fucking kill myself because I love it. And we live for retarded things like chicken nuggets. And here's the fun thing. I live in Asia. So they give you this like funny assortment of like weird fucking sauces that are only in Asia. The honey mustard sauce is fucking American. So like this is probably the best one, and that's why it's fucking available everywhere. Like, let's just be real. Honey mustard is great. The only sauce that even competes with honey mustard is ranch, and some people will be offended by this, but I believe like honey mustard and ranch, you could flip a coin. I'm happy either way. I love ranch. I love honey mustard. I love them both like overwhelmingly, such that I can't pick a favorite. They're like children. You just love them both for their own thing, you know? If you can have both, that's the ideal. But we also got these like 3 fucking weird Asian ones that they also have a lot of merit. And the beauty of having like 18 fucking chicken nuggets because you're a fat-ass motherfucker who doesn't want to share and just wants to eat them all and be a fat-ass piece of shit like me, like Chantel. This is me LARPing as Chantel. I'm not doing a good job of it, but there we go. I got these ones. I got salted egg yolk sauce. Red bean... Sorry, I need to read it this way. Red bean curd roast chicken flavored sauce. So that it's red bean and chicken together. And then this one is lemon aioli sauce. So I've had all these before, and I thought as I was eating them, like, whoa, this would make a great mukbang because these are all super interesting. But I was like, just not motivated to make a fucking video. I just wanted to eat it. So this time I decided I'll justify being a retard who goes out into the tear gas world to see if the McDonald's is still open to get these things, and then to come back, I decided I'm going to eat them now. So I'm going to start with this lemon one. Lemon aioli. And like, mukbangs are retarded because like I can't fucking make you taste what I'm fucking tasting. It's just like, you know, you taste it. I lick the tops. I'm one of those people. I lick the top. Yeah, and it's... Obviously, you can taste the lemon. So it has this kind of sour flavor, but it's not like a baby eating a lemon level of sour, right? It's not like... Right, it's not that level of sour. The rest of it... It's actually kind of garlicky. It has this kind of like a fettuccine alfredo-y, kind of a cheesy, garlicky undertone. It tastes like cheesy, garlicky, lemony. So this you know, in hindsight, this wasn't the most memorable one to me, but maybe this time this is the best one. But yeah, with the chicken, it's so fucking good. It's a chicken Alfredo, and it's got that lemony zest on the aftertaste that just makes this so good. But like, that's what it's all about, is like this slim risk of like, the police could have fucking stopped me and been like, hey, nigga, I saw you fucking wearing black and yellow earlier, like the protesters, and I'll be like, that's anarcho-capitalism, and I'm going to buy McDonald's. And they'll be like, well, you're obviously retarded enough that that might be true. And it is true. It is true. And that's as simple as it gets. This is my video about a serious political situation, and it's also a mukbang because this is the 1 year anniversary of me moving here. And maybe that's just politically and socially retarded. Maybe that makes no sense. To me, it just feels like the most emotionally and spiritually appropriate thing. And I don't know. This is what you create a free society for, is the ability to fucking do this, you know, and to revel in it, and for that to just be the reality. And I want to celebrate that because I'm never going to see the anarcho-capitalist utopia in my lifetime. You got to just take your victories where you can find them, you know? But yeah, this is really fucking good. Lemon aioli. This is 1,000%. I'd be happy to eat this with every single one of these chicken nuggets. It's so good. There's the bottom of it so you can see, like, I don't know what these seeds are. It almost tastes like a lemon poppy muffin too. There's like just everything about it. 1,000% highly recommended. Now, let's try this next one. This one is the most interesting name. This was the red bean chicken roast. Red bean chicken roast. How do I open it? This is like a... The American ones I don't think are like this, where they have like a folded corner thing, and like sometimes you're supposed to break it. I guess sometimes you're not. I might just be making shit up. I don't remember. So this one is like, it's got a crazy thing. It's like a pasty flavor. And like red bean, it's got a big personality, but it comes off generally as very faint. And I think that's why they added the chicken to it. A lot of stuff is like red bean flavored, and it's kind of like a healthy, kind of half-assed dessert. Now the viscosity on this one is like crazy compared to the other one. That's the... Yeah. So it's like ridiculous. This is it's a great, it's a wonderful color. I love it. Yeah, and like the chicken part of it is so insane that like you don't even taste the red bean. So it's like I'm dipping a chicken into a chicken flavored thing. I don't even know what to say about it. It's like... There's like no words for it, because it's not like red bean. It has kind of a beany base to it, but it's like all fucking spiced out chicken all the way fucking through. So it's like red bean is supposed to be kind of sweet. It's supposed to be like a sweet kind of bean thing to it, and I feel like this might have been a more logical sauce if it was just red bean. But, I don't know, their marketing people obviously fucking know more than I do, so they chose to make it also chicken flavored. But it's like, I'm dipping your fucking chicken into a chicken flavored thing, and the flavor of it is just, it's undescribable. It's good. To be clear, it's very delicious. I am enjoying this. It might not be obvious, but I am enjoying this. It's very good. Very salty. Very, very salty. And it's almost like if paint tasted good, this is what I imagine it would taste like. If like eating paint tasted just fucking awesome, that's literally what this is. This is just if paint tasted good. Now, this was the one that I saw and I was like the most kind of ambivalent towards. And I remember last time this being my favorite. This salted egg yolk sauce. So I'm really excited to eat this again. It was very, very salty, but God, it was so fucking good. I love eggs, I love yolk, I love salt. Yellow is my favorite color. It's very, very yellow. So I'm happy about that, you know. So, you know, that's a bias. I'm checking myself. That's my bias. Get off, okay. Yeah. It's just, and you know, it's like we've come full circle. We got the chicken, we chopped it up, we fucking fried its ass, and we got the baby, and we just mixed the baby in with a bunch of fucking yolk. We got the carcass and the abortion, and we're putting it together, and this is just the most satanic thing ever. Yeah, it's very, very, you can see it's like fucking thick on there, thick yellow. And it was just meant to be. It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, it's like if you kind of add a lot of salt to some yolk, and then mix it around until it has this like saucy, thick, viscous consistency. Yeah, it complements the chicken so well. This is just, yes. I mean, if you describe this to aliens, they'll definitely think all human beings are just fucking monsters. But I don't know. I'm a monster by their standard. And like, it's such a big flavor that it almost cheats itself into mustard. But I think it's half a psychological trick just based on the color, the consistency of it, that it makes you kind of expect mustard. But then when you're looking for mustard, it has that biting, mustardy kind of a big flavor at the very end of it, or beginning of it, I should say. And the end of it is just this strong yolk and salt flavor. I mean, it sounds stupid because they so aptly named it. It's the salted fucking egg yolk dip. Very good. With my friends, when you come to visit me in Hong Kong, this shit, we gotta eat it. It's so good. So good. So some dumb bitch on my Jessica and Eve video, my most recent one. I think she's a troll, but she's talking about how, oh, you have the same voice as Jessica Yaniv, and therefore it's you. And it's like, first of all, Jessica's voice is deeper than mine. My voice is like halfway between Yaniv's and Blair White's, honestly. Yaniv's voice is deeper, you know, and lazier too. I have kind of a lazy voice, but not as lazy as Jessica Yaniv's. And she said she's gonna expose me. I'm like, do it. Do it, you dumb hoe. Because, like, the featured video on my channel is one where I show my face, you know. Be an incredible length to fake it being me. So this video serves as a proof that I am not Jessica Yaniv. If I am Jessica Yaniv, then Jessica Yaniv does a better job at looking like a twink than like a woman. You know? Like, I'm more attractive as a woman just naturally as I am right now than Jessica Yaniv is literally trying to look like a woman. Um, so, so yeah, that bitch Rachel, whatever the fuck her name is, she's retarded. You go to her YouTube and like there's nothing on it. It's just a bunch of fucking beta orbiters in her community section telling her she should eat food on camera. So she's probably just a fat bitch. So I know you subscribed, you fat bitch. So go ahead, report me to the media as Jessica Yaniv. This is Jessica Yaniv's profile where she LARPs as the gay ANCAP kid. Anyway, this one is definitely my emotional favorite, but like, you know what? I think I gotta give it to the lemon aioli. Wow. This one is so good. I gotta remember this next time. I think that the lemon aioli is actually my favorite. So good. I'm just gonna eat it. Mmm. I still got like a million chicken nuggets. There's no reason for me to do that, but I just love this sauce. Should put it in a fucking tube. Just gonna eat it. Yeah, it's got a big garlicky flavor. Mm-hmm. It's so good. You know, people give McDonald's shit, but like, fuck you. You feed as many people for as cheap. Fucking asshole. McDonald's rules. 1000% McDonald's American right here. Like this red one, it's good. I feel weird about it. Alright, let's just go ahead and see how look how satisfying that looks. Wow. That's how viscous this fucking sauce is. This one is like by far the most chemical. It has kind of like a roasted flavor to it. But like it's so goofy. There's just nothing like it. Maybe I just fucking take a spoonful of this just like I do the other one. I don't know what else to say. Fucking review, brah. Come down here. I'd love to get your analysis of these like insane flavors. Maybe I can just mail it to you. Maybe I'll just do that. Let's fucking buy some. Just like fucking ship it over to review, brah. He's got like a PO box or something. And then we got good old honey mustard sauce, which. I mean, this one's like available everywhere. There's like nothing to say about it. I don't think it's going to be different. I don't think the Asian honey mustard sauce is different from the other ones. Yeah, I don't think there's anything different about it. It's just, to me it looks about the same. I guess I don't eat McDonald's that often that I could like tell necessarily, but no. Tastes like that sweet mustardy goodness. And like I'm the kind of person who, if I had to choose mustard or ketchup for the rest of my life, mustard. I pick mustard. Ketchup is just kind of like it's okay, it's fine, but honestly, I only really add ketchup to things if like the texture is too dry, and I'd always prefer mustard. Always. There's a lot of fucking chicken nuggets. I'm kind of full, but I'm just gonna eat anyway because I like it. All right. Man, I bought a whole burger too, but like, I don't need to eat the whole burger. I really don't. I was gonna like eat better and like try to get more in shape, feel better about myself for the ICMI, and then I was just like, man, that's so much fucking work to do. I just kind of didn't. I don't know. Save it for next year, for after I'm fucking done with that. I have my vacation. I'll come back, and then I can buy my refrigerator. Well, that was the 18 McNuggets with all the sauces. And they're all good. They're all good. I love the variety. The lemon aioli, I think, is my favorite. I like the salted egg yolk quite a lot. I do like the red bean chicken one. I feel it would be better if it were just straight up red bean and a little bit sweeter instead of being so salty and so roasted and so chickeny. But, you know, for what it is, it's quite interesting. So I really have no genuine complaint. And the honey mustard is honey mustard. You know, it's so common in America that it's not really an experience I seek out. But, you know, a very enjoyable, you know, sauce that's worth its status as, you know, the top sauce. The other one I got was this like promotional like McDonald's signature. They make them so fancy here. And like this burger has like a fuckload of mushrooms on it, and like I fucking love mushrooms. It's got like mushrooms, caramelized onion, all that stuff. So this is a very good burger. I think I'm not gonna eat it now. Sorry. In my tradition of doing mukbangs where I'm a piece of shit that doesn't finish his food, I'm gonna continue that tradition and just not fucking eat it. Sorry. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna save it. Because you know they fucking MSG'd the fuck out of this shit. They added all these fucking chemicals that like I could leave this for a week and it's not gonna go bad. You know, that's part of my secret. I've been living without a refrigerator for a year. It's part of the secret. Get McDonald's. Doesn't go bad. Might go a little bit stale, but it's never gonna go bad. This is food that does not age. This is food you can send to Africa and they can create like an ethno-state that will resist the Chinese communists if you send them to the... This is a joke. Obviously it's not going to matter. China's going to take over and it's going to be the colonialism that white people should have just been doing the entire time, but are too much of a fucking pussies who get race guilted too easily. So I'm really looking forward to what the Chinese do with the Africans. They're going to give them really cute babies and they're going to fix their economies and it's going to be great all around. So, you know, cross your fingers. That'll turn out well, I think. So, the other burger they had that I considered, just because it was funny, was this cowboy burger. And like, it's a cowboy burger because there's a fucking onion ring on the burger, like a little hat. And like, that's really funny, but I feel like it's conceptually about as funny as it is as like literally having the burger. And I'd rather have all the goddamn mushrooms. So... that's my video about my experience smelling tear gas on my way home. Thanks for watching. Everybody have a nice day. Also, I'm not Jessica and Eve. I'm clearly not. Thank you. Have a nice day.